Everybody's most anticipated series is back yet again, and this is the High School Chronicles episode 8. We're going to be talking about prom. We're going to be talking about graduation. And before you ask me any more questions, yes, I graduated in 2020, but I still have an opinion on these and have some experiences with them as well. I had junior prom at my school. I did not have senior prom. I also have been to a few graduations, current and also in the past, so I kind of know what goes on there, and those are just boring. Graduation is a waste of time. If you hate the people that you're there with, like I did, skip because you don't want to sit there. I know your mom may want you to go because she wants to see a nice little baby walk down the aisle, but she'll see that at your wedding if that's what you want to do and you don't die beforehand. Otherwise, maybe you'll graduate college, or maybe you'll just start making some money right out of school and maybe give your mom $200 and be like, ha, there you go, I made some money and you didn't have to see me walk through that stage ever again. Graduation sucks. First, we'll start with prom. So anyway, I had a junior year prom, didn't get my senior year prom, probably wouldn't have gone because I wouldn't have had a date. Junior year prom anyway was fun. My school, what they did, they took us on a bus and then we went to a nice banquet hall. Probably cost us about $100 each ticket, which is insanely expensive, and that's how all proms are. They're like $70 and above to get in. This one, at least we had a nice coach bus. We got a trip down there and we get to spend like maybe 5-6 hours there, which is a lot more than normal, and then you get to leave and go back home. The only thing that sucks is you can't drive yourself, but they did it for kind of safety reasons because they didn't want kids drinking and then getting in their car and driving home, which if you do that at prom, that's just really stupid. Wait till an after party, or maybe just don't do it at all. It's just kids become alcoholics when they're like 17 years old now, and it's ridiculous. So then we go to this banquet hall after we get off the coach bus, and it's a good time. You got your friends, you have a group of people, you get to select where you're sitting, and you get to pretty much just have one nice event before it's all over. But I'm not oblivious, I'm not stupid. I also experienced problems in high school with people. Of course, you care what people think most of the time when you're in high school. Once you're out of high school, you'll realize that you shouldn't care what people think, and it doesn't matter. High school drama is so stupid. But anyways, when you're in there, it's the biggest deal in the world. Kind of does suck if you're not too popular, or if the popular kids hate you or whatever, so I get it. But enjoy your night, get a date, get a group of friends. That's it. Just dance out there, have a good time. Shoot, this year I went to prom with my girlfriend, and even though I've graduated 2 years ago, no, I am not what you're thinking. I had to go to prom, so I went to prom, and there was a kid who was there by himself, and because I didn't go to this high school, didn't know any of the kids, I didn't really care. I was just there with my date, but this kid sat down with us, and it was kind of weird at first. You were like, why the hell is this random kid sitting with us? Because at this school, they didn't do reserved seating like they did at my school when I had prom. So I talked to this kid because I felt bad. He was there all by himself. He just wanted to experience it. He didn't have a date. He didn't really have friends. He just transferred there. That's somebody that I wanted to make sure he had a good night and could remember it. And at least remember maybe that conversation. Be like, oh, that kid picked me up, because that's what you got to do. You can't realize that this popularity stuff that vanishes right after that night, what I must say, because it's usually the last time you see those classmates. So usually the popularity, it vanishes out of thin air after that. So just make sure you have the best night with your friends. Make people around you feel good, and don't be an asshole. That's all you gotta really do at prom. My story time, I don't really have a story time. It was fine, I guess. It was a good time, especially going on that bus. Coming back home was kind of fun. It was like a 40-minute drive. You got to pick where you got to sit, and it was fun, especially if you had a date. Maybe if you're only going with friends, it's not as fun, but at the same time, I think it still could be. I just never did, so I don't really know if it's fun or not. Then go to graduation. Maybe it's a few days later after prom, and you have your graduation where all you do is sit there for 2.5-3 hours, hear names get read, and then go home. It's stupid. You hear a speech from the principal or whoever is in charge of the school. You hear some speeches from students who are probably going to schools that you couldn't even imagine. The naming commences, and then you're just sitting there for hours and hours. And even beforehand, you have to practice the graduation for some reason, like your walk through like you're playing the Super Bowl the next day. It's a lot of time that is wasted when you're going to graduation. It may be fun. You get to see all your friends for the last time, if you're even friends with them, and also the people that you'll never talk to again in the rest of your life. And that's why I didn't want to go to my graduation, because I knew I was friends with most of the people, but at the same time I was like, never going to talk to you, or you. So why do I really care about saying goodbye? Because I'm sure as hell if I wasn't here, I don't think you'd be coming out of your way to say goodbye to me. So why do I even really care to say goodbye in the first place? Maybe that logic is flawed. thought, and it's a little bit different to you guys. But hey, if that's what you like doing, is sitting there for 2 hours, then everybody starts playing on their phones because it's just taking too damn long, then more power to you. But me, when I had to sit through graduations, my girlfriends and my sisters, not fun. I mean, I had a middle school graduation, but it wasn't as big as what my high school one would have been, which was like 2,000 people if we had one. So yeah, ours would have lasted way longer than your typical one. I'm just glad that I didn't really have to deal with it. And when I go to those, I guess it's fun to see, but at the same time, a high school graduation, I feel like you just should graduate high school. I feel like if you don't graduate high school, you're a fuck up. Okay, some people don't graduate high school and are still successful, but that is so few and far between. You don't have to go to college to be successful. That's a myth for sure. It helps, but that's more of a myth. But if you don't graduate high school, you need some help, that's for sure. So people that don't graduate high school are just stupid. So sorry if that happened to you. Fix yourself. So that's why graduation for high school, I feel, is just a little bit weirder, because why am I really gonna sit here, watch all these people's names get called because they pretty much had to pass? I don't hear about anybody nowadays failing high school or having to drop out of high school or whatever it may be. If you want to pass it, your teachers and everybody around you will make sure you pass it, because it's kind of like what they have to do. It's not like college where you buy into the school and then if you're screwed, then it doesn't matter and they don't care. They'll just take your money and walk away. That's not how high school is. High school is backed by the state usually. I know some universities are, but whatever, too complex. So that's why the state will make sure you're good to go and they're not going to just leave you behind. I mean, especially in Illinois. Going to those graduations and seeing people leave and making such a big deal about it, like you just are moving on to the biggest chapter in your life, is insane to me. I guess going to college or whatever you're going to do is a big jump. However, at the same time, there's so much more to life than just graduating high school. So much more to life than going to college. There's so much more to do than what you do in an 8-year to 10-year period, depending on how long you go to school for. You have a lot more life to live than that 10 years you experience. Of course, it's a big part of your life and you're growing, you're maturing and everything else, and maybe you're excited it's coming to an end and you want to go to prom and live it up, and you want to go to graduation and live it up, and that's fine. I'm not knocking you. I'm just giving my opinion because maybe that is a fun time for you, and maybe you'll have bigger moments in life and this will just be a memory instead of peak like it is for a lot of people. It's just, I don't get the fascination behind all of it. I know a lot of kids don't really care anymore. I think the pandemic messed that up a lot. Is just kids were used to not being there, so they don't really care to go to these events anymore. I know I didn't, and I know I didn't really care even before the pandemic happened. Those are just my thoughts. I don't really have stories on this one. This was more just my opinion and kind of a little bit of a rant about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. I'll get a story for High School Chronicles out there, and maybe I'll do a senior year one, because that's the one where we were all stuck inside. We all know that one. The beginning of lockdown was honestly the best thing ever. I had so much fun. Senior year, as shitty as it may have been to some kids, I enjoyed it a lot, and I still had a social life, so to me, it didn't really affect me. Whatever, KOG's so ignorant because my grandma died. Well, I'm sorry, it's your grandma died. That's fine, because we all do at the end of the day. I'll see you guys in the next High School Chronicles or the next video, depending on what it may be. Thank you guys all for watching. Subscribe, wait for the next one, and we need to get those watch hours back up, because I was really close to getting monetized, making money off you sick fucks, but now I'm far back because I took a break. So help me help you by getting me money.
Bitch, I'm riding down the E-way, smoking Doty, yo bitch passenger. If I fuck her once, then bitch I'm passing her. 93, that's foreign, fill this bitch up to capacity. Arsenal, treat a little bitch nigga like he Cassidy. X this little bitch out, I'm in her mouth just like a